Okay, now, you know and I know, and we're going to tell the audience this, that the natural tendency for Medicaid, let's just stick with that for just a moment, because at one time I was there, is that you go to Jobs and Family Services. But really, they should be going to you people.
Yes, that's true, Doug. The folks down at the Department of Job and Family Services in the different counties, their job is to really evaluate what they're presented and whether they're eligible or not. I mean, that's their job. You know that. You were there a long time.
Eligibility, right.
And what we are present ourselves to help the families is to understand, when does Medicaid come into play? In other words, what sources can pay for this care without impoverishing the well spouse. We don't want the well spouse to think that they're going to be out on the street, or they're not going to have income to buy food or to pay taxes or that type of thing. So we want to show how much is Medicare actually going to pay. And when will Medicaid be necessary based on the finances, and how do we know that that is going to be available? Well, we have to do a plan based on everything in the past, because you well know when you go to Medicaid, you have to have everything in line to present to the caseworker that they can evaluate. And that includes going back 5 years.
Correct. Yeah. Because there's tons and tons of information. And there's no question, Don, you're exactly right. One of the things that I encountered frequently where the people said, oh my goodness, we're putting dad in an institution and mom's going to stay home. And we understand mom's going to lose the house, the car, the kids, the income.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
True.
And Patty, why don't you explain how we actually take that load by going to the county caseworker on behalf of our families?
We actually are the family. We actually take that role on as the authorized representative. So the family never has to go to the Department of Job and Family Services. And NES is in all 88 counties in the state of Ohio. So we will go in any county to represent our families. So they never have to do that. And our case managers tell that financial story. They explain everything that happened from the very beginning to the date of application. If there's been any transfers of assets, anything that has taken place, we explain that. Oftentimes none of that has happened, and that's where the families get afraid, because they think they're going to lose the house, they're going to be impoverished, mom's only going to live on her Social Security, and we can explain all of that. We take that burden away, and we give them a sign of peace, so they don't have to worry about mom being at home or can't stay in the home or has to move in with one of the children. We cover all of that, as Don was saying earlier, through an inventory of their pockets to pay, so to speak.
Now, this is where children come in. Now, when I talk about children, I'm talking about, obviously, mom and dads or whoever is left.
Right.
Adult children.
They're adults. They should be the ones that should be listening and talking to you.
Absolutely.
People.
Yes. What's really important, Doug, is as a lawyer, I know how difficult the guardianship process is. So what I call essential documents is, number one, the financial durable power of attorney, which is critical for the spouse, if there is one, but certainly the children of that marriage to have, so they can help financially and legally their parent traverse all of this countryside that they're going to be in. The second document is the healthcare power of attorney, which must have now the HIPAA waiver, which is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. And without those two essential documents, it's hard for the children to help the parent.
Yeah.
Yes.